Hello, I'm Michael Diamond and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, this video I'm going to be talking about genetics. I've discussed genetics in bodybuilding before, but I think it's worth discussing a little bit more. Now, the question I'm going to ask in this video is, does hard work, can hard work trump genetics? Now, there's no question about it. Any physically related endeavor, genetics quite often can be the deciding factor, but is it always the deciding factor? This goes with all sports, but we're talking about bodybuilding in this video, so I'm going to stick to bodybuilding. Now, we take steroids out of the equation. Everybody knows that at pro level, even at the amateur level in bodybuilding, steroids are a part of it. But steroids aren't going to give you good genetics. It's just going to add to what you already have. But like I said, the question in this video is, does hard work or can hard work trump genetics? Now, in bodybuilding, like I said, in all sports, you have to have have to be genetically gifted to some degree to turn pro and to succeed at the top level. But not everybody is genetically equal. Some people's genetics are superior than others. You have people that have good genetics. You got people that have really good genetics, and then you got people that are just genetically gifted, blessed, and of course, they're going to have a decided advantage. But hard work can make up for a lot. It can't make up for everything, but it can make up for a lot. Now, if you have somebody that's very good genetics, genetically gifted, and they put in the work, are willing to put in the hard work, that's going to be an extremely difficult thing to top. But quite often we see people that are naturally gifted with all the genetic potential in the world, never quite live up to what they could. Quite often they take it for granted their God-given skills and gifts, and they never fully nurture what they have. But like I said, when you have a genetically superior person and they're willing to put in the work, that's very tough thing to beat. But they have to be putting in the work, because I don't care how genetically gifted you are, if you slack off, or don't put in a sufficient amount of effort, work into what you're doing, you got the person that's on the sidelines over there that, of course, to be where they are, they have to have some genetic gifts, but not quite as gifted as you. But that person has some genetic gifts, and he's willing or she's willing to put in the work to not be outworked by anybody, that person can very easily overtake you with all those natural gifts that you have. That person who's not quite as gifted as you, but is putting in the work that you're not putting in, going the extra mile, can and will overtake you. And we're discussing bodybuilding, and we've seen it quite often, that bodybuilder going up that's not quite as genetically gifted as the people they're going up against, and they're beating them. Why are they beating them? Is because with the genetics they have, they are outworking the more genetically gifted athlete. To name a few, Branch Warren, Rich Gaspari, neither one of them had the greatest genetics. Yeah, they had genetics for building muscle, but structurally wise, the shape of their muscle, they were going up against guys that probably should have been beating them. But why were they successful over these people that should have been beating them? It's because they were putting in the work with the genetics that they did have. They were putting in the work, and they were outworking their competition. One of the best examples would be Dorian Yates. He was going up, and he was competing in which many consider the most difficult era to be competing in, with the most talent, the deepest talent pool. He was going up against guys that were much more genetically superior than he was. Not that he had bad genetics. Yes, he had, like I said, to reach the pro level, you had to have good genetics. But he was going up against people that were absolutely superior in genetics to him, and he was beating them. And he was beating them in a dramatic fashion. Why? Because with the genetics that he did have, he was willing to put in the work, put in the effort that the others were not putting in. Now, to answer the question, does hard work trump genetics? Hard work alone, no. You have to have some genetics. You have to be genetically gifted to some degree in the endeavor that you're in. Here we're talking about bodybuilding. But like I said, if you have somebody that's genetically superior and they are also putting in the work, that's a difficult task. But if that person is genetically superior and they hold back a little bit and they don't push it to that level, you're going to have somebody that's a little bit behind you in genetics, that's willing to go the extra mile, and that person is going to overtake you. To answer the question, does hard work trump genetics? If genetically superior people put in hard work, no. But if they don't put in that hard work, go that extra mile, the hard work in a person not as genetically gifted will trump genetics. Okay, you might agree or disagree with what I've said. Please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.